The powerful method to gain a woman's trust and loyalty. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 ways of how you can gain a woman's respect, trust, and loyalty, especially when you're dealing with either a great woman and a high quality woman and really want to blossom in a relationship together and form a healthy bond, a healthy, loving, intimate relationship and romantic relationship, obviously. My name is Apollonia Ponti. I am a dating, relationship, and life coach for you men, not only to attract a great woman, but also to live a great life. So let's get into number one. Number one, let me first paraphrase this just a little bit. Hear me out. You want to make sure that you start with a friendship with a woman. Friendship is the best foundation of a relationship. But don't go into this, oh, what do you mean? I need to be her friend. I'm going to get friend zone. I'm not talking about this friend zone because I teach friend zone all the time and how to get out of it and so much more and why men fall in here. But here's what I mean by this is many times when we go into a courting or pursuing phase with a woman, I notice that men get so scared of being the friend, but yet focus so much on attracting her, getting her to like her, that they forget what they bring to the table and they're not comfortable with the underlying foundation, which is friendship. Till this day, I love my husband because he is also my best friend in some ways or another. There's some things that are different with my girl best friends and with my guy best friend, which is my husband, but a best friend means that I'm supported with him. We can talk through things. I know at the end of the day, the friendship is also romantic friendship, and I'm supported through this. So when I say start with friendship, it's because you need to figure out also too, if this is a woman that you would want to date. You can still flirt with her. You can still, show your intent, but you also want to form a bond. Do you guys get along? Will you guys get along? Will you guys trust her, right? Because friendships are still relationships. So you have to evolve in your relationship in order to feel some sense of comfort and security. And that is through friendships, because romantic relationships, marriages comes in waves. And so when you don't have that strong bond and that foundation, that's what can break that up and break that loyalty, break the respect and trust. The way people trust each other is because they formulate a good bond. What makes us formulate a good bond? Friendship, relationships, right? So this is what I mean by it. I'm not saying just go into it by being a friend only. I want to be very clear with this. Number 2 is be real and upfront with her. Honest even when it hurts. Now, there's a difference between being honest because you're trying to negate something from happening or make something happen because you want it to be done or it's for your selfish needs and desires. But being real and upfront and honest comes from having the boundaries when something is happening that you don't like. Many times I've seen people become passive in relationships because they want to keep it even keel, and it continues to be a pattern. And so they deny their needs, and they also dismiss their partners on a subconscious level, and it doesn't form a bond. Because how can someone trust and respect someone if they're not even honest with themselves or them? So even speaking up and being honest from time to time when it has to be, it could be really hard conversations, but to be honest, this really builds trust in relationships and loyalty and respect, because your partner will know that if something is going wrong and if they don't like what they see in front of them or something else has happened outside of the relationship, you will do your best to be honest and to push forward and confront that situation because you want the best for your relationship, your family, your children, or whatever the case may be. Women in relationships want to feel safe, want to be with someone that is also going to not only be honest with them, but be real and assertive and be upfront about things that are needing to happen either in life, in the relationship, to give the woman direction. And the same should be vice versa for men and women and men. Number 3 is make your intentions clear to her. This would be more in the dating process and the pursuing process. Many times kind of going with 1. You have to do 1 and 3 hand in hand. This is what really relates to building trust and respect is you can't just go in with the friendship card only when you're really ultimately wanting to be with this woman and you want to be with her. Because then you become in this nice guy syndrome that I talk about, and then you're denying your needs and you actually become very manipulative. Nice guys aren't really nice guys. They're very manipulative as well because they're not clear with themselves, so they're not going to be clear with other people. So they're denying their intentions. They're not clear with her. And so what will happen is 4 months later, he has so many resentments towards her and anger, and all of a sudden he's like, well, I do all this for you. And she's like, wait, I just thought you were a friend. We never even did anything. And so this is where you have to make your intentions clear with a woman. You can develop a friendship, but make the intent clear. Call a date a date. Show her that you're interested in her. Show her that you're willing to invest in her by saying things like you're interested, commenting on the way maybe that she looks, flirting with her from time to time, taking her out on dates, pursuing her, talking about life and so much more, which I have plenty of videos on, and I'm not going to go into it here. But if you would like, I'll put one other one in the cards up here. Next, number 4 is be consistent with how you treat her. So women love to look at a man that is consistent. Women love especially when they're really interested in a man, the more consistent you are, the better. So a man of his word, it makes us more comfortable, especially a high quality woman, like a woman that really knows what she's after and what she wants from a man and is also appreciative of what a man brings to the relationship. And the same goes vice versa for him. When a man is consistent, what happens is it shows her that you will know how to treat her. Shows her you'll know how to stir up for the family. It shows her how you're going to be a devoted, maybe long-term boyfriend or husband, whatever the case may be. And so consistency is one of the biggest things that actually thrives on attraction for a woman that is ready for a relationship. Number 5 is, listen, I get when you have to tell little white lies because you don't want her to worry. Yeah, my ankle doesn't hurt anymore. And you're like, oh my God, it's killing me, but I don't want her to worry, right? Those little lies, like I get. But obviously, if something is going on with her health, we want our partner's help as much as possible. But here's the thing. It goes beyond that. What I'm saying is obviously you never want to lie in a relationship because this is where respect 1000% gets diminished like that, and it's hard to gain. It takes a lot of time to gain respect back. Loyalty and trust is broken instantly when that happens. And so what's really important is number 5 and number 2 go hand in hand, because if you don't practice, if you're someone that's very passive and likes to keep things even keel and happy and not make people mad, you're actually disempowering yourself, number 1, but you're actually making 2 things harder on yourself because eventually you'll make them even more mad because you became so passive and you ended up lying in little ways that you didn't even discover or that you did because you're trying to make everything perfect. But yet when they find this all out, they get so upset at you. And then your response is, well, I was just trying to make you happy. That's just a dead end. And it's a dead end of trust, loyalty, and happiness and respect. So lying is one of the biggest reasons why so many relationships fail. And lying in ways where either you're trying to quote unquote protect your partner, but you need to be upfront with your partner. You have to understand that a woman and a person, not even a woman, gains respect for another person. A human gains respect for another person when they're willing to be honest with them, even if it's hard. Because now what you do to that other person is you give them a willingness to choose. And so when you give someone else a willingness to choose, they feel like they're not, quote unquote, being controlled, right? And so they can gain respect and trust for you because naturally, subconsciously, on a conscious level, we will look at this and say, wow, this person I can trust, because he or she brought this to the table and I am going to make the best decision for us or me. And now that person that just told me this, that was a hard discussion, not only can I see trust in them, but they're not trying to control or negate this relationship, and they trust that I'm going to make the best decision for this relationship. So it actually grows the bond a lot stronger. So passiveness actually is the worst thing that you can do in a relationship. Number 6 is be open to her. Just like a woman should be open to you. Many times I get men on the channel saying, why do you only give advice to men? Well, I'm only here for men. But if I was to give advice to a woman, I would say be open to a man. So the same thing as to you is be open to her. What openness means is like hearing her out, right? Women are very emotional creatures. I mean, women deal with emotions in different ways, but also too, like if she's having a hard day, if she's doing something wrong, yeah, you're going to be open with her. You're going to talk about it, but also to pick and choose the battles of those emotions that she's going through, right? So it's interesting. I was watching this reality show last night and I was like, ooh, that wasn't a good move for that girl. But her boyfriend was trying to resolve a conflict between her and her friends and try to put down the tone by just simply just going up to her and talking to her because they were all at a party and saying, you know, let's just say her name was Amber. Amber is a great girl, and I'm happy it's her birthday, and I just want you guys to be in good spirits together. I know she misses you as a friend, and I hope you guys can get there someday. He was just trying to tame down the water, and he ended up telling her, and she's like, "Why aren't you ever on my side? You always do this. You're so not what did she say? Oh, you're not faithful to me." And he's like, "What in the world? How am I not faithful to you?" When on the other hand, he's just trying to calm the waters in her best interest because he's just telling the other girl that, you know, that she really wants to mend the relationship and that she deserves the best and the friendship deserves the best. And the other girl agreed. But yet she was just so triggered in that moment and she came from emotions. Instead, she's like, "Well, I'm leaving my own birthday party." And he's like, "Fine." And he didn't say a word, right? So you have to sometimes be open to her emotions and hold the space, even when you know she's in the wrong. And the same goes vice versa, because on one of my videos, I had 21 best relationship tips. And one of them, this is where exactly what I mean by this, is where you're not perfect, she's not perfect, so be open to growing together, right? Relationships are not meant to be perfect, but it's about how and when you choose to show up and how the partner contributes and shows up and changes. And does she openly communicate? So then further on in the process, let's say a day or two later, they were able to talk about and she noticed her intentions and her actions and apologized, right? So this is where being open to her comes in. I hope that example helps. Number 7 is considerate. Be considerate of her, be considerate of others. This is in the beginning also too and forever in the relationship. Women gain respect for a man that is considerate about her family, about her friends, possibly about the things that she wants to accomplish in life, but also is not like one of those yes mans. What I mean is considers the outcome, the pros and the cons, and supports her through it. But the same should be for a woman. All of these things are the same thing you should ask for a woman to be for you as well if you're showing up for this. And I always say this in my videos. Now, I want you to download something. It's completely free for you. It's 20 questions to get to know a woman's true self. Now, I'd love this free manual that I have for you, and I'll put it here in the cards and below in the description box. But this is actually a manual that I made for men to really get clear on great questions for the second, third, or fourth date, to really get to know a woman's intentions, really get to know where she is in life if you're looking for something more sustainable. And as always, I love hearing from you. So if this is your first time visiting this channel, I welcome you to subscribe and comment below. And as always, I will see you in the next video. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.